Thank you. And we are only going to take a few minutes. First, I want to give a quote from Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom, which is his autobiography. If I am not truly free, I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom, just as surely as I cannot be free when my freedom is taken from me. The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. I think that quote for me speaks to the Waking Up to Whiteness program that Tom and I created along with John and the other members of the lead org team. And just briefly, I'll speak and then I'd like to hear Tom as well. There's been a lot of great circles going on in MKP of men sharing about race and equality. And we wanted to create something that let men dig in a little bit more through dialogue together versus more of the fishbowl of listening to just some men talk. And so we're created this space for white men to wake up to their whiteness and what that means in living in a racialized society and how we can change. And what we're doing is we brought a bunch of great content in, reading, audio, video. Tom and I went through our resources to find things that we thought would help explain some really interesting topics and then discuss them together. Things like racial bias, white privilege, systemic racism, etc. And it's about sharing together. While Tom and I both have been doing this work for a bit of time, we are not coming to say, we've got all the answers and we're going to tell them to you. We are advanced co-learners continuing our journey, and we want to bring in white men to give them a platform, warrior brothers talking to one another as a group to learn about ourselves and our whiteness and the impact that has and how we can change. Tom, I know you have some thoughts.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. And just where this came from. In the Metro New York area, we've been doing a call called White Men Unraveling Racism for 1.5 years now. And back around March, we opened it up across the country for any men to join. And our vision at the time was we were hoping that we would get to a place, speaking about dreams tonight, that every area had its own call going focused on this. Because one of the things that kind of breaks my heart is that men would come to this call, this monthly call, which is on the 3rd Sunday of the month, and say, I've joined your call, Tom, because I can't talk about this stuff in my I group. And we realize that it can be it's a messy subject, no doubt about it. And so to be able to create a safe space for men to come has been what that dream has been about. And so then this was to say, okay, so if a man doesn't want to wait for a monthly call, this session is going to be 4 2-hour sessions. And in a structured way, be able to not just talk about things, but then get to an endpoint. Dip your toe in the water, but take it all the way through. And so that's what we have hopefully developed in this course and are so excited about starting the first one. Are we announcing when we're starting the first one, Brad?
September 30th.
September 30th is when we're going to start the first circle.
And we're only going to have 12 men to start. And our hope and intention is to have bigger groups and many groups as men decide they want to do this. I also want to add that part of the inspiration to doing this was some recent courses I've done online around these types of topics and witnessing that in most of them, about 10% of the participants were men. It just seemed like it was women showing up, and that makes me really sad. And so the idea of like, we're brothers, we're warrior brothers, let's create a space where maybe some men that might not join other groups are willing to come and do this work together and share in this. And so that is part of our hope that this will appeal to men in MKP to come show up.
Thank you, Brad. And I see that Neil Gritz posted a question and said, is this open to non-brothers and women as well? If not, is it in the future? So this 4-week course that we're calling Waking Up to Whiteness in the initial run is going to be for MKP brothers. but then the vision is, or the dream is, to widen it up as well. What we want to do is we want to shake it down and make sure it's a quality course that's meaningful to men. And then we'd very much like to expand it.
And I will just make the point, if the title is not clear, this is for white men. We want this to be a place where white men do their work. As John has shared with me, feedback from men of color in the project asking for more men like me and other white men to do their work. And that's what this is for, along with other things that are obviously going on in the world and in MKP.